What's up, everybody? This is Stephen Palomino with a AOC 2 review for Project 2. I'm just going to be going over the few questions over my code in the app. So let's go ahead and get started. This is my app. I just continued the same thing that I was doing last week. Basically, it's just a guitar app. It calculates the weight of acoustic, electric, and classical guitars. It will, the default is 0, so it'll calculate and bring in the info most of the time. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you've got to select one and then calculate. So the default is 0. The other settings will come in, but the weight won't be calculated because it's 0 right now. So you can put in 3, and there's the weight. So that's that. The segmented control down here, it just changes the color slightly, so it's not too obvious. It's very subtle. And then on the third page here, or second view, I've got links to Instagram, Twitter, and the mail. This will actually work on the device. I've tried it, and it sends to my email address with the subject and some text. Other than that, it won't work in the simulator because it's not hooked up to anything, but these will actually go to my Twitter and Instagram. So those do work. Those were super easy to implement, so I just went for it. So these are all custom icons I found online. I'll be posting the links on the discussion. But they were pretty easy. The code for the mailing I actually got from the Apple documentation, which is freaking awesome. They have sample projects and everything, so that's what I used for that. I'll post that on the discussion too, I guess. So this icon as well is one of theirs. So that's basically it. I'll just walk you through my code here. It was super simple. Nothing drastic from last week. The only thing that changed really is this one sender. Everything kind of went through here, and I did find some code online doing some research that was saying to set the tag to an int. But I just accessed it directly. I don't know why you wouldn't. Maybe I just don't know. But I thought this was kind of easier instead of going through an int, so I just did that. Maybe you could just type identifier and stuff, send it a tag. But I thought this was kind of a little easier to read. I don't know. Anyway, so it basically checks to see what is selected. If the acoustic button's selected, then it won't do anything if it's already selected. But if it is selected, or else it'll gray out the other ones, and then set the acoustic to selected. And that's basically what it does for everything. Yeah, so that was pretty basic. And then we've got the segmented control. That basically it was pretty easy. You just check for the index of what's being the index of whatever's pressed, and then set the color. And of course, NS logs everywhere to make sure stuff is going through. And then for the on step, I set the value of whatever the stepper's on to an integer. And then I put that value in the text field where it says number of guitars. Here it'll just say number of guitars equals, and then that's where my value will be replaced there. So whatever it's on, it'll set it there. And then we access this current value integer to calculate the weight. So you'll see that just the normal calculations I used last week, everything is exactly the same. There's a couple differences. One, this multiplication based on how many guitars, number of guitars there are. And the second thing is now all the labels are the same. So everything's going to one set of labels, and the if statements just check, to see what's selected, and then it'll put it in based on that. It'll instantiate that factory method, and then call that from there, or the class method. And that's basically it. That is all that I did. I also do set the value to 0, just so if they push calculate right away, when they choose something, it'll actually show something. But that's it. Everything else was exactly the same. I had a whole bunch of properties and everything, just kind of driving everything. So there was more properties than last week, but it was a lot simpler than last week as well, just because everything's condensed, easy to read, and you don't see all the information. You don't have to see all the information that you don't want to see. So that's basically it. Last question: what do you think you could have done better? I've been working on. I kept saying that I wish I could have commented more, and so I've been kind of consciously putting more code in. More comments in. Not for obvious things like the colors, but put little comments before a whole bunch of stuff. If it's repetitive like this and it's just doing the same thing, I'll just comment at the beginning. So, but other than that, everything was exactly the same. Second view. This is what's going on for the second view. You've just got the email. It's super simple. You're just allocating and initializing here the MF mail compose view controller. We did set the delegate over here. There we go, the delegate. So it's going with that protocol here. And then we're setting the subject. That's what the subject in the email was. Then the body, and then that's the email address. And the sample code they did have, they set NS strings and NS arrays before this, and then just called those instances here instead of putting the actual values. But I just simplified it. I'm not going to be writing a whole bunch of stuff. So, and then you just present that. So that was it, and that was super simple. So that was awesome. Then the Instagram, you're basically just setting a URL and then the string. Again, you could set an NS string and then just call that in here, but I just set that directly. And the same thing with the Twitter. And this little bit here is for any errors that happen. Basically, if it fails to send, it'll throw this out. And you could have, I could have put this in a UI alert, but I just put it in this log. I didn't see, it's not going on the App Store, so I didn't feel the need to do that. And you really don't need this. I would have run great without it, but I just thought that was nice to have in case, I don't know, I was testing and stuff didn't go through. So I did test and everything. I did actually receive a mail for myself, so it actually works. And that's it. That was my code. It was fun. There was laughter and tears and screams of joy heard throughout. And that was it. It was super fun. It was challenging. It was really cool to see how easy Apple made a lot of things. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and again, this has been my AOC 2 Project 2 review. Term is 1402. Thanks. Bye.